Hello, my friends. Much better mood today. I was in a mood yesterday. It happens to everybody occasionally, but I'm glad to be back. Um, Not my. I feel like this isn't my best reading. This was a really difficult reading to read. We did get that. We opened higher. We nailed that. And there was a trade opportunity there around the open. Trade opportunity there. We're expecting some lows here at the end of the day, which really didn't seem to pan out. We did have a high here between um, 3 and 4, so these should be some pretty notable price swings in here. Interesting. Yeah, so I would probably be looking for opportunities to get into longs. Really expected a lower price level here today. But I would not want to be in a short position at this point based on everything that I'm looking at next week. I want to be looking for opportunities to get into a long. You could probably even get into a long here, guys, because it looks like we're opening higher, like a new local high of some kind on the 22nd. There's a sharp drop in the morning as well. We open higher, sharp drop, and then a rally to a high. All there, like around the pre-market in the first half hour. It looks like. Hey, TT. Yeah, we all have our days here and there. I wasn't having a great day. I think it was something astrological. But yeah, when I get cancellations and I'm like kicking butt at accuracy and I see a cancellation, it really kind of ruins my day. Doesn't happen very often, but it does. It's like it directly impacts my income and what I'm able to pay my team. It wouldn't be a big deal to get a cancellation if we weren't like right at break even. So when we get a cancellation, it puts us back in negative territory. I'd like to put that stage of my business behind me already. So I'm not too sure how my reading turned out because this was a pretty complicated reading. I don't usually go back and read my own or watch my own videos just because I don't have time for that. I'm working on another video. Um, we do have like troughs here at the end of the day, and it looks like a high at the end of the day. But this was difficult. Nullified devil card, nullified high card, and it looks like the low is revisited. And you can see how the high correlator card from the 18th is the low correlator from the 19th. It doesn't always pan out that way, but you'll see that sometimes what that's indicating is that the low of the previous day will be the high, or the low of the coming day will be the high of the previous day, and that's exactly what we had happen here, right? The high price level on the 18th, right here around 477, right? Low price level of the 19th right here around 477. Boom. Hey, it was luck. Hey, Robert. So I started pre-scheduling these lives. I think it'll probably bring in more traffic as well. But I basically made like Tuesdays and Thursdays now. We'll have a morning session that's subscribers only. So you can watch it if you're not a subscriber, but you can only comment if you're a subscriber. And that's how our lives will be from now on. Except for on Tuesday and Thursday afternoons, that will be members only. Anybody will be able to watch it, but if you don't have a star next to your name, you will not be able to comment on Tuesday and Thursday afternoons. FYI, moving forward. And that'll probably change and become Monday, Wednesday, and Friday afternoons at some point. Yeah, Robert, I bet they do. uh, hey, iCrypto, welcome. I mentioned that ETH may return to the same high end of month. Is that still in play? And will ETH have higher highs in February than in January? Look at this, guys. I'm almost done with where are the interpretation files? Oh, right here. Duh. I'm almost done with the March readings for SPY. I have like four more to do, and those will be coming out for early access tonight and tomorrow. All of SPY for March will be posted to early access. Yeah, I think we'll probably see them. We might even see them around the cusp of the 21st, 22nd. It's possible. There's also, it looks like a lowest low in there, though. So be careful. Another lowest low or significant low around the 26th, but also very likely a high here. This one's a little tricky because it's in both, it's kind of like right between the timelines. But then very likely another high here on the 31st. It might be though that high that this is has to do with the following month rather than the 31st, but I think it's probably a high as well. Either that or on the 29th or 31st, because we've got the fortune card and the unicursal there. Hey, Mark Holub. Oh, appreciate it. When people let me know my results have been solid, I mean, I presume they are for the most part because I have somebody that goes through and does all the accuracy. They're trailing behind quite a long way though. But when somebody like affirms that, it really helps me out because just like anybody else, I can have insecurities and doubts at times. Depends on vibration. So much appreciation. Um, Mark, I'll come back to your question in just a moment. I got to get the people with the stars next to their names first as they're paying for priority answers. But I'll come back to you. I didn't forget about you. All right. So can I ask you to go over Sol? Noticed you touched on it yesterday. Bitcoin dumped today, but didn't break 40K. You said there may be a retest of the Sol top or close to it. 20th has some good astrology. Well, so there's going to be a test, and it may not necessarily be one of these price levels. I think it's probably going to be this price level, but it might not be. Either way, after that failed test and a decline through key support, there'll be a rally that increases with momentum moving forward in time, and that rally will take us into a high for the year. So it'll at least be like this high, 117 or something, somewhere in probably early February. AAV. Robert, I'll come back to you in just a moment. Tesla. I don't think it does. I don't think it goes lower than this, but let me see. I'm going to see what the cards have to say about the 23rd. Yeah, it looks like 23rd is going to be a lower price level. And do we reach 201? I believe that pleasure card is a yes. I just want to double check. It's one of those tricky cards. It is a yes. Yeah, so it looks like we probably hit the 201 range around the 23rd. But I would be careful because there's possibility of highs in here too. There's a lot of the readings have like declines into the last week, and then there's like this move to the upside out of them. Actually, it looks like that low may be on the 22nd. The low might be on the 22nd and not the 23rd. Looks like it's on the 22nd. And there's a high on the 23rd. A lot of price change between the two. Full moon's typically a negative influencer. You'll see in a full moon, you'll see the height of fear. Like usually a few days, just like 2 or 3 days in the market, it'll be like a local low before a full moon. Usually, it's not always like that, especially during retrograde periods. Yeah, and that's another thing. The Mercury retrograde post shadow strategy work. Thanks for reminding me of that. What am I talking about? So there's 3 parts to Mercury retrograde. There's the post shadow, which is this time period between this line and this line. There's the actual period of retrograde, which is this time period between this line and this line. And then there's the post shadow period, which is the time period between this line and this line. And the Mercury retrograde strategy is that the chart behavior that happens in the pre-shadow mimics itself in the post-shadow. Not exactly, but very, very close. And what we had is kind of like up and down, sideways overall behavior until the very end of the period. We had this fast sudden move to the upside. And you can see we have kind of like up and down, sideways, and then this fast sudden move to highs on the very last day there. Very, very similar pattern, guys. Weekends make it a little bit difficult to see the pattern sometimes because weekends they're not congruent. They don't line up in the pattern in both the pre-shadow and the post-shadow in the same places, you know? Will Doge revisit its highs from earlier January? Come on, Doge. You gotta have one. Why it's all the way down here is so ridiculous to me. Nailed that high. Another one on the 11th. Little bit off on that one. So dumb. Yeah, it looks like there's 1 to 2 more visits to the high in February. One or two of them. It's possible. So we'll come back to these price levels here at least of 9 cents something. All right, let me see. Do I think Theta breaks $2 in January? Let's take a look. Probably not in January, but there's a good chance in February. Let me see. I got a yes for so the move off of the low from January takes us into a high in February, and we should see $2 price range. We're gonna push the upper end of a range higher in the earlier part of February out of the trough. Big move to the upside. Is AMC done declining for January, or is it a fake out? Ooh, that's a tough question. Oh, I'm not looking at AMC. Sorry. So we probably see the low, the January low, twice based on the fact that this is like a pop and drop in later January. So we're probably seeing the pop part of it, right, out of the low, and then we'll probably come back down. So, but either way, we off of the lows of January, we're going to push the upper end of a range higher, and the Ace of Swords often indicates a high of some kind. Ace of Swords and the Princess of Swords together here, and very likely there's a high for the year here of like at least for some of the year. So I would probably open up, if I'm looking to trade a long position, I'd probably open up a partial long here, and then if we revisit these price levels in January, I would add to that long position. In anticipation of this price level that we're going to see. This is an improbable opportunity here in February. So probably a lot of price change to the upside, in other words. Hey Hamza, will Near Protocol go higher coming weeks of January? Did I do a 1 year? I think I did a 1 year for Near. Let me see. Yep. All right, and the question was, will it go higher in the coming weeks? The full card's a little difficult to. It's like one of those cards that could go in either direction. But what I'm seeing is that there's an important trough on a 1 year chart scale around the cusp of January, February. It'll be an important opportunity that'll really stand out when we look back on 2024. It'll stand out amongst other opportunities, and I would say it's an opportunity to open up a long position. I probably open up a partial long here, And then if we go lower, I would wait until early February, and if we go lower in early February, I'd add to that long. We've got a breakout to like a year's high, a breakout in late February to a year's high in March. Will the crypto market react to Pluto entering Aquarius for January 20th? The thing about Pluto is that its influence is so broad. Like, Pluto's the type of planet where, for the most part, like the changes are so the changes that it impacts, they're over such like a prolonged period of time. They're almost not noticeable in a lot of cases. I got a no for that. iCrypto. Can I give guidance on gold next week? Will it will be more bullish or bearish? Thank you. We're probably near lows here. A lot of price change to the upside. It looks like we have a high in gold in March, but there's a lot of price change here. Hard to say. It's going to be kind of like back and forth erratic, and then we in early February we turn resistance into support. Let's see. For the remainder of January, what does gold do? It's moving to the upside in the remainder of January. Hey Sam, welcome. I'm not sure what you're trying to say with Channel Star. Should repeat your question. I'm not sure what you were trying to say there. CELH, short and midterm. Whoa, big drop, big drop. Hey buddy. Okay, so there's the remainder of January. We'll see a rally along a diagonal trend line that ends with a fast sudden move higher and then a breakdown through that diagonal trend line. So overall, it's bearish, but there's going to be some bullish behavior before that. It turns bearish again, like some bullish behavior between now and and hey, proof. Will crypto go sideways until the 22nd? Yeah, pretty much. I mean, we're going to see another important low around the 22nd, 23rd. And there'll also be a prominent peak around the 20th, 21st. So kind of like price swingy back and forth. Actually, looks like it's more bullish than bearish. I would probably be banking on this fortune card, Ace of Swords here at a high. That seems very reliable, especially after a breakout. TLT next week. I think I'm in the midst of a TLT reading. Let me take a look. Yeah. Wow, this one was done a long time ago. Long time ago. It's got a different background and everything. Not completed. I didn't do a markup for it, but let's see what we've got to work with here. Looks bullish to me. Yeah, it's bullish from here the remainder of January. Hey, Conrad. Does Tesla open higher on the 25th than its closes on the 24th? I got a yes. It opens higher on the 5th, or excuse me, on the 25th. As far as Tesla's earnings results, it looks like a beat. You're welcome, my crypto. Hey, Ellen. Will Algo have a pop over 25 cents in January? I'm going to cap off the questions here, guys. Got to roll after this, but let me take a look at Algo. Did I miss it? Jesus. I must have missed it. Or not. All right, well, that's annoying. I have a no for that. It doesn't pop over 25 cents in January. Does it in February? I got kind of like a maybe there. Unclear. I'll ask that one again at another time. Will gold open higher on Monday than it closes? So by that, I presume it was like you're talking about GLD. You're welcome, Proof. Appreciate you, my man. Well, yes or no, will gold open higher on Monday? I got a no for that. And with that said, my friends, thank you so much for supporting the channel. As always, you know what to do. Follow that rule of karma. We're counting on you here at Tarot for Traders. Think about it this way, my friends. Less than 3% of people actually follow through on the rule of karma. And it's those people that help keep the channel running. If people didn't follow the rule of karma, I probably wouldn't even do this because I just feel used, you know. But point being is that only less than 3%. So if you're one of those 3%, if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be here right now, my friends. And with that said, blessings to all my angel investors.